you call range safety officers, which are people who typically watch and see and make sure that everything is happening okay. But whenever you go to the range, everybody should be a range safety officer. You should, if you go to the range, you should know the things to look for. So if you see things that aren't that are suspect, you should say something, because a lot of people go to the range and don't have training, and they're just shooting, and they don't realize that they're wasting money, because bullets are hard to find these days. It's getting harder and harder to find ammunition, and it's and ammunition is also getting more expensive. So every time you send a round downrange, you need to be thinking about, what are you training, what are you working on, not just wasting money, but like, am I working on my sight alignment, am I working on my grip, am I working on my stance, like, what are you working on? You need to be paying attention to those type of things. Hello.
Hi, it's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Hey, Carmen.
Hey, so look, you're multitasking right now because you're in the car.
I'm very much so multitasking. It's my middle name.
I know that's right. So I don't know, have we met before? You look kind of familiar.
So I get that a lot. People be saying I have a cousin somewhere, you know. Everybody says, you got a girl that looks like you. I know somebody that you got, but I don't know. So I have a familiar face. I've never met a stranger before. So if you got a warm heart, we probably met before. Our spirits.
I get that
at one point.
Possibly. Are you from North Carolina?
I lived in North Carolina for a while. I am originally from Baltimore, Maryland, but I lived in North Carolina. My 10th grade year in high school is when I moved to North Carolina. So that was 2004-ish, 2005, somewhere around there. So yeah, I did live in North Carolina for some time. 2005, and then I went to college at A&T. So are you an Aggie, or where did you go to college?
I mean, listen, I didn't really go to college, but I was definitely on the Aggie campus a lot of the times during my college years.
So you Aggie.
So yeah.
So you I feel you. You know, I got you.
Absolutely. What's up, Huey G? You just joined in. Yes. So we have Miss Lady T on here. She's an actress, creator, travel blogger, and a healer. So on Bliss Talk, I like to build, learn, inspire, and collaborate and share keys with people who are grinding and really serving their purpose. So I'm going to be pricking your brain tonight. You ready?
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Let's get into it. Okay, so I see on your Instagram that you like to shoot.
On the ground.
And I was, I was like, I tried it one time, and I have to say that I would do that again. And I see that you are an advocate for, having, our protection. And I agree with that, especially as single Black women, you need that protection. So I was wondering if you can share any insight on how we can get registered for our gun permits and protect ourselves.
You live in, what state you live in? You live in North Carolina?
Yes.
Okay. So literally whatever state or county, preferably the county, whatever county you live in, you want to Google that county plus gun permit or weapons carry license. Google that in your county, because it's different in every county. Mm-hmm. So in every state, it's also different. I can get a permit in, say, Georgia, and be able to carry in a state like North Carolina because of something called reciprocity, but it is all different in each state. So I couldn't necessarily carry in like Nevada or California or New York, but in a lot of other states I can. So it's different in each county. So I would just say Google your county to see what the steps are. And typically they're simple. Typically it's just applying, going to like whatever the municipal court building is, and with a self-service. Well, no, it's probably not self-service, but you'll go to the court building. You'll fill out the application. then you might have to go, depending on your county or your state, you might have to go to the police department and do fingerprints. And then after that, you'll wait some time. Different states or different amounts of time. I know in Fulton County, which is where I live, they got enough to be flashing at me. Listen, I'm going the speed limit. I'm not speeding. Y'all. And then also I got my light on, but that's also not against the law. You know, we grew up thinking that was against the law. It's not against the law. I can see. If you looking in my car, that's your problem. That's not my problem. But what was I saying? So yeah, depending on your county. In my county, it took 3 months. So I would say whatever county you are, get started now, because we don't know, you know, if courts gonna be closed or whatever, because we saw with COVID, courts were closed for an amount of time. So wherever you are, get on it now and get on taking classes now, because and if you're anywhere, I can come if you have at least 5 people that are willing to take the class with you. I'm willing to travel. So I have a class tomorrow in North Carolina. I actually have 1 more seat left. So there's 1 seat left. So if anybody is in North Carolina and wants to take the class, it's tomorrow, October 23rd from 6 to 8 p.m. at Eagle One gun range in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Oh, snap.
And yeah, you can go to the link in my bio to find that class.
Okay, dope. So I didn't even know that you taught it. I just kept seeing videos of you shooting. I was like, yeah, but you teach it too. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I teach firearms courses. I actually, it's crazy because I just purchased my first firearm this year and just got my weapons carry license this year. And I realized, you know, during COVID, we had to find other things. Like, I'm an actress first. My degree is in film, was in professional theater and acting. And because of COVID, I was working in film and television industry, but the industry just kind of like, you know, dwindled a little bit and fell off, and everything was on pause. So I started doing things that I was interested in, like gardening and shooting. And then more people kept asking me to come to the range with me. And then the people that I would go shooting with were like typically trainers, or when are you going to? And so then one thing led to another. And yeah, now a couple months later, I'm an instructor. So yeah, I take people to the range now because I don't want to just, people started asking me, can they come with me? And I'm like, I don't want to just take you without knowing, you know, proper things. Like, a lot of people are going to the range. I see people every day at the range with not the proper grip or, you know, stance. Like yesterday I was at the range and I was teaching a husband and a wife. And I typically try not to get in other people's business when we at the range. You know, guys with guns, they, you know, different people got their, you know, the young guys, they be having their extendo clips and they be having their different guns and they feel like they shoot and they know stuff. And so I try not to be like, okay, you might know things, but when I see stuff, I have to call it out. And every range, there's what you call range safety officers, which are people who typically watch and see and make sure that everything is happening okay. But whenever you go to the range, everybody should be a range safety officer. You should, if you go to the range, you should know the things to look for. So if you see things that aren't, that are suspect, you should say something, because a lot of people go to the range and don't have training and they're just shooting and they don't realize that they're wasting money, because bullets are hard to find these days. It's getting harder and harder to find ammunition, and it's and ammunition is also getting more expensive. So every time you send a round downrange, you need to be thinking about, what are you training, what are you working on, not just wasting money, but like, am I working on my sight alignment, am I working on my grip, am I working on my stance, like, what are you working on? You need to be paying attention to those type of things. But anyway, long story short, I see some young guys at the range yesterday, and he was standing with the gun and he was leaning back, and it's like, you got to lean in towards your target. So I just wanted to let him know, like, just those little tidbit things. And I'm glad that they were open to hearing what I had to say versus like,
that
like,
is
no, what I'm doing.
Wanted to ask you real quick, because being a woman and you're teaching this, I'm sure it's got to be difficult when you got to teach guys that think they know it all. Do you ever have those instances?
I haven't yet, and I'm grateful that I haven't yet.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, it doesn't matter how much training you've had, how long you've had guns. When you come to my class, we all start at ground zero, which is the 5 safety rules, grip, stance, all that. We starting with the basics, the fundamentals, and then we can build upon that. If you are, of course, already experienced or whatever, then I might recommend you to somebody else, like, that I take classes from, because I take classes every month. I train all the time. I think that we all should be training all the time. Maybe not every day or every week, but at least once a month. We should be taking some type of training course, and we've gotten too far as a community away from stuff like homemaking, learning how to garden, and learning how to shoot, and different stuff that we should just be training our minds to know how to do without technology. So so if somebody is too far advanced, if I feel like they're too far advanced and they think they know it all, then I'll recommend them to somebody who I take courses from.
That makes sense. So let's talk about alchemy. I saw you had a post that kind of captioned alchemists there, and I happen to really like that concept of alchemy. So do you have any alchemy concepts that you can share that you picked up on, or how do you practice that?
I practice alchemy by manifesting what I desire. And I manifest what I desire through affirmations, through positive thoughts, positive action. So as long as I'm speaking and saying and doing the things that I want to come, then they will happen. Okay. We know that words have power, and it's just like if you write something down or if you spell something out, you're writing a spell, you're spelling it, then that has power to manifest and create, and that is alchemy. Okay. So a lot of things that I've been speaking have just been manifesting, and it's not even forced. And sometimes manifestation, you may not see it instantly or notice it instantly, but as long as whatever's meant for you is meant for you, and it will not miss you.
I agree with that. I had a vision board, and I put, this is just one example of my vision board, but I always wanted an Apple laptop, and I could never afford that thing, right? And so now I have like 2 Mac computers in my house, you know?
Yes, come through. Okay. And when it come, it be tripling. You be like, oh, it didn't double, it tripled. Right. I'm telling you, my day rate, I used to be like, oh yeah, this is going to be my rate per day, working in the film industry, you got to have a day rate because you get all different types of gigs. And also a lot of the work that I do is gig work. I might be doing a class this day, or I might be, a safety ambassador this day or whatever, or acting, or I got to do field coordinating one day and whatever. So you got to make sure you know your day rate. Know what you will and won't do what for and what's the rate. And I used to have a rate last year, and I used to be like, oh, I'm going to double this. Yeah. And girl, when I say that rate then triple, manifestation be happening. Manifestation be happening.
Just dropped in. What's up, Nikki? What's up, Michelle? I got Lady T on Bliss Talk tonight. She's actually an actress and creator and a travel vlogger. And she also just taught me a little bit about how to sign up and get registered for my permit, for my gun permit. She also teaches classes on how to shoot. So we're having this really dope conversation about alchemy as well. And she said she practices it by, speaking things into existence and manifesting. Next thing I want to talk to you about is standing in your power and in your skill and in your knowledge. I thought of that question to ask you because those photos that you took with the face painting, I was like, it was so powerful. It just jumped at me, like as in someone standing in their power. And then I thought about, what does that mean, standing in your power? It means that trusting your skills and your knowledge. Oftentimes people will combat your thoughts or your opinions, and that's okay. But if you're not strong-willed, or if you're not standing in your power, then you might, it'll make you second guess yourself, so to speak. So what are ways that you stand in your power, and what would you say to someone that might not be as confident standing in theirs?
One of the ways I stand in my power is by doing what I say I'm going to do. So that builds confidence. So even if it's something as little as I'm going to make my bed in the morning. If I, in fact, wake up in the morning and I get out of the bed and I make my bed in the morning, I can look at my room and say, wow, because literally sometimes just your bed makes your room look clean. So I can then look at that and say, I did what I said I'm going to do. And that builds confidence in me. Now I feel like I have a clean room. I have more confidence because I stick to it. That makes me feel more confident to make more decisions for myself. That makes me say, okay, now that I did that, now I'm going to, whatever it is I have to do for that day, I'm gonna go vote, right? So now I'm gonna make a decision to go do that, and after I go do that, then now I feel more confident because I'm like, I did what I said I was gonna do. So
I agree with that.
Standing on your power is just when you do what you say. You don't procrastinate. We often procrastinate, but whatever it is, sometimes you can write a list, and when you scratch those things off of the list, I know for me, when I write a list and I scratch it off, something about scratching it off makes me feel good. It makes me feel complete. It makes me feel like, okay. So even if it's something little, I write it down on my to-do list so that I can see myself scratching it off, because then I feel like I've completed a goal, and then it makes me more confident to complete more goals and take more action. It makes me feel like I'm taking care of business, and when you're taking care of business, you standing in your power.
That is so true. I feel the exact same way, and you end up doing it for yourself, knocking these things out or doing what you say you're going to do. But what happens is other people see that, and that's also something that validates it. I know everybody says they don't like to be validated by anyone, but let's be honest, when somebody says good job, it feels good.
It feels good, right? We got to be honest with ourselves. People be like, I don't need anybody. I can do it myself. But at the end of the day, like I always said, we didn't come in this world by ourselves. A lot of people like to say that. You did not. Everybody came into this world with somebody. Somebody pushed you, or either cut you or pulled you out of this into this world. Like, you didn't just like, boop, I'm here. And if you did, then
okay.
That's another conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so validation is important. Feeling like, because that lets you know that people care, people are proud of you, and when somebody's proud of you, that makes you feel good, because like I said, you didn't come in this world by yourself. You came in this world with somebody, and like just having that.
And that also speaks to the other side of it too. Take the time out of your day and tell someone that you're proud of them, and that you're genuinely proud of them. You might have been thinking it all along, but that person never heard it from you, and so think about how that you can inspire gratitude in that person when you just, share that positivity with them,
Right.
So that's all about that.
Yes.
Let's see. let's talk about mentors and your origins, because I mean, a Lady T that stands in her power, you know, this doesn't just come out of nowhere. I'm sure there was something that happened in your life, experiences that made you who you are today. So did you have anybody that you saw looking or growing up like, hey, you know, I love the way that person moves. I'm going to hang out with them and pick up some of their keys and concepts. And what are some of your experiences that you had that you think was kind of like molding you into who you are?
I would say it's me. Like, not to be that person, but it's me. I'm that girl. Like, I look at me and be like, dang, girl, I want to be more like you. I want to be a better you. But because when I try to think of mentors, I'm not saying I did it all on my own, though, but it's hard to find mentors. It's harder than I wanted to be to find mentors. I mean, I have had mentors, like in college. One of my professors, Donna Bradley, she always used to look out for me. Like, shout out to Miss Donna. She used to always look out for me in college. And I will say, the reason why I say it's me is because I've had some experiences in life where I had to, like, grow up and be responsible at a young age. I had to provide for me and my brother at a young age. And so that kind of made me, like, go after it and go harder than, you know, expected. And, you know, from an 18-year-old or whatever. Like, I was working a full-time job, going to college, taking care of my brother, and going to rehearsals, you know. So a lot of times I always looked for a mentor and I always looked for leadership from people because I felt like I always had to, like, I didn't have it. I felt like there was a lack of it. I mean, like, my aunties and my, you know, but my mom is a great person to look up to, but she was in and out. She put me and my brother through some rough situations where I kind of had to figure things out a lot. And so even though my mom is a great woman, though, she implemented some great things in me so that at those times when I was put in those situations and had to figure it out, I was able to figure it out because my mom is a very resourceful person. So I learned how to be resourceful. But I did have to do a lot of figuring things out at an early age. And I didn't like it. I'm not going to say I liked it or I enjoyed it, but it did make me a better person. And I am who I am today. Long story short, when I think of mentors, I'm still developing and still looking for mentors because I don't think it's ever an age where you stop looking for people to look up to or people to inspire you. So a lot of my mentors, honestly, are people who these days are people who are on social media, like 19 Keys. He's like a business person and all this kind of stuff. Or like one of my coaches that teaches me how to shoot, like he's somebody I look up to. And he's just new. I just met him this year. I'm trying to think, like Risa Islam or Derek Grace too. These are people who are in finance or in real estate and they're doing things that I admire and I kind of look to them, even though some of them I probably don't even like, they don't, you know, we don't talk. Like I don't know them.
Yeah.
I know them through social media type of thing.
I get it.
I can't really say like, when I think of a mentor, that's not somebody, and I apologize if you are in my life and I'm like, my friends inspire me a lot, and my friends, I look to them to encourage me and lead me in the right direction. But when I think of like a mentor, so to speak, like, you know, a person that really impacted my life and that I still keep in touch with every day and and I'm like really inspired by, it's more so the world around me, more so than a person in particular.
I would have to agree with that because a lot of times, like when I grew up, I grew up around strong women, of course. But I always felt different. You know, I'm more of a quirky, creative, somebody that doesn't really look into trends as often as, you know, maybe the next person. And so for me, a lot of the time I was looking for a mentor, but I could never really find anyone that did exactly what I wanted to do, if that makes sense. You know, even when I went to the School of Performing Arts, you know, the music that they were singing was nothing like what I wanted to sing, you know? So I think a lot of the times we're here when we find ourselves not really finding a mentor, I think maybe we're trailblazing. You know, we're going out there to scope the scene, you know, and then the people behind us or people that want to, you know, follow in our footsteps will have something to say or give them some feedback as to what we experienced while we are trying to mine through and find different opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I know that one time I saw a quote that said sometimes when what you're searching for is what you should be. And so at the time I was searching for a mentor. And I was thinking, well, wow, maybe I need to be a mentor. And so I've tried to create programs where I feel like I can give back to the youth or be able to talk to somebody. And at one point I was substitute teaching, and I was at a middle school for some period of time. And so we all know how how middle school is. And I wanted to start a girls organization, but it just didn't work out as I wanted it to. But I was able to connect with some of the girls and keep in contact with them. But if anybody needs a mentor or whatever, want to take advice or be an assistant, I'll be trying to get my little cousins, I'll be trying to get my little brother or somebody to like, come on, help me with this business. I mean, let's learn together. But
it's definitely free knowledge if you do stuff like that, you know, just understudy someone that's doing similar things to what you're doing. Let's talk about your acting though. I wanted to get into this because I used to be in a play a long time ago, but it was fun and I couldn't really figure out how to get back into it. Do you know like any classes or how somebody can get back involved into acting?
If you want to get involved in acting, it depends on what you want to do, because you could create an actor's access, which is $68 a year, and you could create a profile, and you could put in the area that you are in, which is the Southeast region. If you're in like Southeast, from anywhere like North Carolina on down, Virginia on down, kind of is the Southeast region. And whenever anything comes out, auditions or something, they're looking to cast people, you'll get a notification and you can submit. And then if you submit and they see your profile and they like you, they'll offer you to audition, and then you can audition for those roles. So that's one way to get, if you want to, if you're ready for that. But you have to be ready for that. You have to have like your headshots. You know, like I said, create a profile, which is creating your resume, and then also having your reel together. And reel is creating your reel, which is kind of like a digital resume. It's footage, clips of footage that you've been in. So clips of movies or clips of films all pieced together to make one little short trailer of the things that you've done. And so once you have all of those things together and you put those on your profile, then they'll decide if they want you to audition for stuff. So that's, like I said, if you're ready for that. If you're not ready for that, that means that you're at the very beginning stage. Like you don't have a headshot
along
yet.
the line.
Huh?
Like a little stage play or something like that.
Okay. So like a stage play, I would say wherever your local theater is, just get involved with your community stuff. So there's a Facebook group for everything. There's a Facebook group, like if you go on Facebook and type in a search bar, Raleigh, or what city are you in? Are you in Raleigh?
Greensboro,
okay. I'll be in Greensboro on Sunday. I'm coming on Sunday. I want to go to that new thing. The new thing. So my brother's party is on Sunday in Greensboro, but they're having they have a new like museum Greensboro that I want to go to?
It's an arts, a performing arts stage right next to like the downtown area. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. I don't know if that's.
No, there's like this new Black-owned selfie museum.
Well, that's
in Greensboro. It just opened like last week.
Oh, okay, that's why.
Yeah. But anyway, what was I saying? In Greensboro. So you're in Greensboro. Oh, so you're in Greensboro. So how about this? Since you're in Greensboro, that's why I did a lot of community theater at, because that's where I went to college at A&T. So you can literally go to A&T and ask to volunteer. They would love to have volunteers. You can go to the Paul Robeson Theater, to the Paul Robeson Theater in the General Classroom building. It's right there. That's where the theater department is. Just go to the theater department. Call the theater department at A&T and ask if you volunteer. I guarantee you somebody will be like, okay. Or if they don't have volunteer opportunities, they'll lead you to somebody who does. Like maybe downtown at what is it? Downtown three stages. What is it? Triad Stage.
Yeah.
You can call Triad Stage. They have volunteer opportunities. Okay. So when you volunteer, you know, then you're immersed in it, and then you know when auditions are and how to get involved and all of those type of things.
That's good to know. Definitely good to know. The last question about your acting, because I saw that you played somebody's mother in a video. And you don't look old enough to be anybody's mom, by the way, especially not that guy's mom. How is that for you? Like,
I'll be like, whatever. Listen, you gotta check. I'm gonna come get it. But I was like, when my homeboy called me and told me he wanted to play that boy mama, I was like, mama, okay, whatever.
Right.
I mean, I was like, I guess I'm like Tracy Ellis. She ain't got no kids, but she be playing the mama on TV, so whatever, we'll do this. But I just let it be what it was gonna be. But yeah.
What was the best role that you've ever had?
Huh?
What was the best role that you ever played?
The best role? I did some voiceover work. I'm gonna say 2 projects was my best projects. Anything I do with One Dream Films is dope. One Dream Films, follow them on IG if you're interested in getting into acting and all types of stuff. Or Zell Gaming at Zell Gaming, he's a writer. Okay. Here in Atlanta. Well, in Atlanta. But one of the roles was I played a bank robber. So that was fun. It was a short film. It's actually on Amazon Prime, so if you want to check it out, it's called Bone Deep. And then you can also find it on YouTube. And then the other one, like I said, was the voiceover work. He actually wrote that too. And it's a scripted podcast. So you can listen to it. But it's a series. And we did 2 seasons. And I played a flight attendant / homegirl, best friend to the main character. And I liked that role because I got to, since it was voiceover, the person listening can kind of create the character in their mind. So I was able to play with the role a little bit more, and I made added some little Dominican flair to it, and it was like, I feel like I was from New York or something, give him a little something to do. So it was real fun because I could spice it up because it was just audio. So that was one of my favorite roles.
I mean, acting in general, I think it's fun, especially when you get to do the exercises and it gets you out of your shell or gets you out of yourself or right here, the present. You get to go somewhere else with it. I think that's what I love about it the most. And I just wanted to touch on that, especially for our listeners too. If you're interested in acting, it doesn't matter what age, right? You can walk up to the theaters or call it theaters and say you want to volunteer, like you said, or get involved because I think it's definitely
especially the holiday season is coming up too. So I'm sure things are different when you're talking about theater when it comes to COVID and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure of course, like I said, that's why I say call and volunteer first, just so you can figure out what's happening, because, you know, we got so far before the signal started messing up. Okay.
You're good. I can still hear you clear and everything.
Okay,
but
good.
I think it's dope also acting because you are portraying a different character. You get to learn that character and learn their personalities and things of that nature. And so it helps in real life too, when you're just out with friends, joking around, and it brings out your personality when you can dive in and out of different characters' personalities. So that's dope.
Definitely. That's why as a good actor, you have to be very observant. Mm-hmm. A lot of acting is just watching, observing people and what people
mm-hmm.
do.
Yep.
And you can add those little tidbits to characters, like different mannerisms you might be on stage, especially theater. Because theater, I feel like theater you can have way more fun than you can with film and television.
Because you can exaggerate a lot.
Yeah, you can exaggerate. Film and television, you have to be subtle because the camera picks everything up. But on stage, you're able to be elaborate and big and extra and whatever. So, but yeah.
So last thing, let's wrap it up. We've had such a dope conversation. We went over our 30 minutes, but it's okay. Sometimes it's like that when the conversation is dope. Can you leave us with any keys and concepts for anyone that might want to follow in your shoes, or anything that you picked up along the way that you're like, aha, somebody else needs to know this if they're going to walk this journey?
Yes, I'm going to leave you with a little tidbit that I just learned last week. So first of all, I would say every Black family, get you an LLC. Anybody, whatever, whoever, everybody. Find you something that is essential and you sell it. So find something that people need. Look around your house and say, what is something that if I didn't have it, I would go buy it. And that's what you sell. Because you don't need to be dependent upon anybody else to make an income. And we saw that this year with COVID. So find you an essential business and you sell something. And when you sell something I learned this week, you pay yourself. You start that LLC, you get your EIN, and you start you a bank account. And when you start that bank account, all of the money from that business you have gone into that bank account. And out of that bank account, you do automatic transfers from that bank account to your personal checkings so that you can pay yourself. And when you pay yourself, you are now creating a payroll. You are also now creating proof of income. Because a lot of things you need proof of income for. You go to get an apartment, you go to get a new house, you go to get a car, you need proof of income.
Right.
So you do those transfers, you pay, you start you a business, you make money from that business, and then you pay yourself. Whatever you think it is you deserve, you are the number one employee, and you pay yourself. That's something that I realized this week. So I ain't got to go out there and get no Adobe payroll or whatever the payrolls is called. Just like you would Cash App a personal consultant. If you I have somebody, he does business consulting for me, and when I pay him like $35 a week, he's really drops more gems on me than he's worth. And so, or that he pays me. I mean that he requires me to pay him, but when I pay him through Cash App. That's a consultant fee. So whether you pay yourself through Cash App or whatever, you just make sure you pay yourself and you track it, because that's creating proof of income, and that can help you with other things.
I agree.
That can help you with building credit and whatever. So that's a gem I would drop.
I was thinking about it today because I'm interested in getting real estate, buying, refinancing, buying homes, like how people are creating their wealth, and they also, a lot of the people that I've been listening to, I listen to podcasts or I read, they create LLCs for that, so that
that's what I actually created my LLC for. Last year is real estate, and now it's actually been helping me maneuver through a lot of other things because it's my umbrella LLC. And Yeah, it's been able to help. Like when you have an LLC now, you own something. You have ownership. So when they go to offer those grants for COVID relief help or whatever, whenever they go to do this or that, you have an LLC now that represents you and your family, or to leave your family, and you can do that. You tax write-offs and tax breaks. We wonder how a person like Donald Trump only pays $750 in taxes, because he has a business where he can do write-offs and stuff. There's certain things you can do when you got that LLC. So yes, under my LLC, just like you were saying, you bought, you was looking into real estate and stuff like that. I purchased some real estate under that LLC, and now I'm working to build credit through that LLC, through my business bank account.
Yeah.
So
because when you apply for using other people's money to get a house or a property, they're going to want to see your income, you know. And if you're making income off of your current property, if you have tenants or whatever, then like you said, get your LLC, get your EIN, get your bank account, and then put it inside, you know, have it automatically drafted to your bank account, and that's called proof of income. And so you're more likely to get that help if you can show that you're actually getting paid for your property, or getting that cash flow. But yeah, definitely a good key and concept to end Bliss Talk on. I really appreciate you joining me tonight. You didn't have to. You're driving. You're multitasking. That just goes to show how hard you work. You know.
I'm on my way to North Carolina so we can do this class tomorrow night at Eagle One Gun Range. One more seat left. If you're on the live and you're interested in taking a firearms class, the cost is $85. It's the cheapest class you're going to ever find, because classes for firearms start at like $100. I know, because I'm taking a $150 rifle one class November 15th in Atlanta, but classes be starting at like $100 and up. So my class is only $85. That includes your range fee. That includes your safety, eye protection, your ear protection. I also have caps for my student if you need a cap. But yeah, you just need to bring your own ammo, or if you don't have ammo, I can get you some ammo. But yes, that is tomorrow in Raleigh, North Carolina. So anybody in Raleigh, go to the link in my bio and sign up for that class.
Absolutely. Well, this has been lovely. Like I said, you guys can follow me at cbliss_pics. Visit my website, www.blisstalkshow.life. Also, please, I'm begging you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. My goal is to have 100 subscribers by the end of the year, and I'm sitting at 31, which is a come up, because last
it's hard to get them YouTube.
It's so.
Did you create like a link tree and you have this? Okay, good. So I'm gonna go subscribe to your link tree, and I have mine in my link tree too. So yeah,
absolutely.
It's hard to get them YouTube subscribers though.
On the live, if you guys on the live have a YouTube channel, I'm going to subscribe to yours too. We can do it that way. Just let me know.
Exactly.
It's always great to support each other, because it doesn't cost you anything to support each other. So yes, if anybody on the live tonight has any questions for Lady T, go ahead and type them in. And while you guys are typing in, she's going to let us know how we can support her, any website she has, how we can follow her, and all that good stuff.
Yes, so you can follow me at Toya M. Nelson on all our social platforms, at NsideOut Protection, at NsideOut Health, and that's just with an N, like as in Nelson, letter N. And yeah, the link is in the bio. My link tree is in the bio. Go ahead and click the link, and that will take you to whether you want to do firearms training or whether you want to purchase some herbs. We didn't talk too much about the herbs, but I got elderberry syrup and sea moss and black seed oil. All of that stuff is in the link in the bio. And then also YouTube, if you want to see some of my journeys last year when I was able to travel, because this year I haven't traveled anywhere, although a little secret, I'll let these 5 people on the live know, I will be traveling somewhere, one of the 52 countries at the end of this year, and I will vlog that. It will be so very exciting.
Yeah.
Because that will be the only trip I took all this year because of COVID. But yeah, so yeah, like YouTube got trips to Morocco and Costa Rica and all that. So go click the link and subscribe.
Yes.
That is how you find me. I appreciate you so much. It was so nice to talk with you.
It was great to talk to you too. I'm not seeing any questions, so let's wrap this thing up.
I did see one question. Somebody asked, how do I get to the DM? That question was.
Do you see it?
I don't see it.
I don't know. Instagram was kind of acting funny today. I don't see any questions up there.
Okay. Well, yep. But okay. Cool. If you got, I guess, personal questions, holler at me in the DM. Let me know what's up.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for joining Bliss Talk tonight. Y'all have a beautiful weekend and make sure to subscribe. Bye, guys.
Bye.